Hello and welcome to this latest episode of TransylGamer with me, Count Pixel. We've got some big names this time, and one game we're surprised has even managed to get a release date. The Adventures of Sam Fisher, otherwise known as Splinter Cell, have been going on for some time now, and the latest installment, Conviction, is out soon, although again delayed. The story follows on from Sam's last excursion, Double Agent, where he stopped working for the secret government agency, where he'd honed his skills, and was instead hovering around the edges of the law. In fact, at one point, he was even doing some porridge. Despite the name of the game, in Conviction, Sam is on the loose and hunting for his daughter's killers. Although the game isn't due until April now, we had the opportunity to put Sam through his paces in the demo level shown at E3, and bits of other levels shown at the Tokyo Game Show. Both levels show that Sam is not a happy man, and clearly sees Jack Bauer as a role model when it comes to interrogation techniques. Let's just say that once the man in the opening sequence has a close encounter with a urinal, he starts singing like a canary. As he spills the beans, the information is shown on the walls in the form of grainy black and white film, whilst you make him eat cake. Urinal cake, that is. This means you don't need to sit through some long-winded and tortuous expositional cutscenes. One thing that is synonymous with Splinter Cell are Sam's gadgets. This time he will have to do without them, and has to make use of such items as broken wing mirrors, in order to look under doors, just like the rest of us. As well as the usual exposition being played out as film clips, your goals are placed seamlessly into the game, such as your mission's destination being shown in massive lettering on the side of a mansion, hero style. We like this, as it means you don't have to pause the game all the time. I was told by one Ubisoft staffer that the designers have made Conviction to be appealing to not only die-hard Splinter Cell fans, but also those new to the series. You could say this is dumbing down. We aren't, though. Although Sam hasn't had the best of times of late, he's still had time to learn some new moves, such as one called Mark and Execute. This is similar to in Rainbow Six Vegas, where you flag enemies and then dispatch them and take them out without them seeing you. Splinter Cell Conviction is a 360 exclusive, so look out for it soon. Before you ask, Heavy Rain isn't some strange weather sim where you get to control what comes out of the clouds, but actually a serious and dark adult thriller that's a PS3 exclusive. One word of warning, as this is for adults, you should note that it contains images of a lady partially clad. Although this will no doubt get tabloid journalists all of a doodah, it's very much the sort of thing you would expect in an adult drama. And what is so shocking about seeing a woman without all her clothes on? After all, 50% of the population see this sort of thing every day, when they get dressed, as do some of the other 50%, if they're lucky. Heavy Rain is being developed by French studio Quantic Dream, creators of Fahrenheit, and is pitched as being different from most games. According to Quantic Dream, the narrative unfolds through the player's actions, not cutscenes, and every action has a consequence. Having said that, we have heard the game is played out with a lot of QTEs, so expect to have to follow on-screen button prompts. This would account for some of the tension that the game will obviously want us to feel. I for one often feel tense and angry and also downright frustrated with QTEs, as they are mainly used as a shortcut to a decently scripted move whereby the game wants you to do one thing but insists on making that thing hard to do. However, we are told that if you mess up the QTEs in Heavy Rain, you don't get endless attempts to get it right, as is usually the case. And what if you fail the QTEs for undressing or holding the soap in the shower? Do you fall over and slip? From what Sony and Quantic Dream have said about Heavy Rain, it's not your usual game. There are 4 main characters who you can control, and should one die, you then take control of another, and the death is incorporated into the storyline. What happens when you use up all the characters, we're not sure. The game may end, and it's not clear if you restart at the beginning, or where one of your characters cropped it. What is clear, though, is that it's not a happy game. And what is it about children's playgrounds that are so scary? In fact, there's even a clown in the game, and we all know that clowns are terrifying. Then there's a scene involving forced nudity that is a dead cert to rattle many of the so-called moral majority's cages. But then the game will have an 18 certificate, which for some is a hard thing to swallow. Some games get knocked up in no time and just appear as if out of the ether. Others are announced and then take forever, and you wonder if they will ever see the light of day. This brings us to Alan Wake. In the games industry, he was fast becoming a byword for games that were only ever seen in screenshots, but now, unlike Duke Nukem, Alan Wake is almost with us. For years we knew of Alan Wake, but not what the game actually entailed. At first it was billed as a DirectX 10 vehicle to coincide with the Vista launch. It didn't make that, which, considering Vista's success, or lack of it, was probably a good thing. Along with the title, we knew that it was being developed by Remedy, the team behind Max Payne, which we hoped would bode well. In many ways, Alan Wake is similar to Heavy Rain. It's also an exclusive, this time for the 360. It's billed as a psychological action thriller, and you play the eponymous hero, who is a writer escaping to a small town in order to help break his writer's block. Things, of course, don't go well, and his fiancée disappears in mysterious circumstances. As if you could have disappearing in normal circumstances.
Alan, we're here. Can you believe this place? This would make a wonderful setting for a book.
According to the promo bump from Microsoft, Alan Wake is set in an intense, immersive and expansive cinematic world which is also hyper-realistic. Alan Wake is apparently mission-based and has, I quote, a deeply engaging and suspenseful storyline, unveiling new twists and profound character revelations at every turn. Players will unravel the riveting plot through multi-layered character interactions, unique problem-solving, and an intense combat against terrifying enemies. In this nightmarish world where fantasy and reality collide. Although we don't know what that means. Anyway. In Alan Wake, you must use a variety of weapons to survive, including his most powerful ally against the darkness, light itself. And that's not Darkness the band, by the way. So basically you run around this quiet yet surprisingly creepy town, not that that isn't a cliche of course, armed with the mother of all torches. I wonder if it's like the one in Jamie and the Magic Torch. After all, that's a story where fantasy and reality collide. Alan Wake does remind us of the Johnny Depp movie Secret Window. Let's hope it's got a better storyline than that. I'm not holding out much hope, as that was based on a Stephen King story. Well, that's your lot for today. Tune in again next time for another bundle of fun. Bye!